we really treasure the fact that we have such a close relationship with the province of Manitoba. Manitoba is so much like Illinois, and Winnipeg is so much like Chicago, and we have so many things in common. We understand the importance of sustainability, which is a fancy word for a green way of thinking and a green way of acting. And that's what we have to do here in the 21st century. And our agreement that we're signing today, our memorandum of understanding, is really focused on the future, making sure that we do have clean energy, renewable energy, that we focus on energy efficiency and water conservation. And we've got some great experts in water here in Illinois. And we want to work with the province of Manitoba on water initiatives that both of us can benefit from. We understand how important trade is, that we have a great deal of commerce. Our state exports more to Canada than any other place outside of the United States. Canada is our #1 trading partner, and there are so many different goods and products that go across the border and come across the border to and from Illinois, and particularly from Manitoba. You know, we have great companies that manufacture heavy machinery. Caterpillar and John Deere come to mind, and they export those products to Manitoba and other places in Canada. We want to keep that going and keep that growing. Just last year in our state, we had a 20% increase in exports, and we want to keep that going by good products made by well-skilled people, but also with an attitude of working with the whole world, but especially our friends in Canada, and especially the people of Manitoba, a province much like our own that depends on agriculture, that depends on transportation. We in Illinois are the inland port of America. We have so many different goods coming from both coasts by rail. We distribute them across the heartland of America. That's exactly what Manitoba aspires and is doing right now in their country of Canada.
Really, you know, to me, what it symbolizes and stands for is innovation, which the Premier touched on, and that's really the key to the growth of a state, a city, of a country, being innovative and having leadership that has the ability to be visionaries and see what needs to be done now to keep you relevant in the future. And this memorandum and this partnership symbolizes that, and I'm just excited and glad to be a part of it as a son of Manitoba, adopted here in Illinois. It's great, and we just look forward to all the great things that this relationship will bring. And the Premier and I are actively seeking the next import. We need a basketball player to play for the Bulls, and then we need a baseball on each team, one for the White Sox and one for the Cubs. So we'll be working on that. But just thank you all for being here to be a part of this special day, and it's going to go a long way to the futures of both our state and our provinces. So thank you.
When we started building Winnipeg, we always saw ourselves as the Chicago of the North. And we saw ourselves as a gateway to the West. And of course, you are the gateway to the West. Now we're reinventing ourselves as a mid-continent gateway to the world, and that's exactly what you're doing. So there's going to be many fruitful relationships that come out of our sharing of how we become logistical centers of excellence, both in Illinois, both in Manitoba, as we develop our Centerport concept. But you also mentioned water, and we do have one of the Great Lakes in Canada. It's not one of the 5 Great Lakes, but it's number 8, and it's one that really requires the conservation ethic to be brought into full force, as you have done with your work with the Great Lakes Commission here. And we are now at that stage where we have to start intervening in a constructive way for the long-term protection of our lake, and what an asset it is, not just for recreation, but also for fishing and for sustaining many of our Aboriginal communities in that part of the world. So there's many things we can learn from you there. And then the knowledge economy. We know the knowledge economy is very important, and we know that the key to our future is our ability to innovate economically. And I know in our discussions together, you put a high value on that too, which requires us to have a strong support for the education system. And then, of course, you've mentioned clean energy. Well, clean energy is one of our fortes. We look at our hydroelectricity as some other provinces look at their oil. We see it as a resource that can be a real positive for many other regions in North America, a resource that can help reduce greenhouse gas emissions and provide reliable, clean, and affordable power. And we look forward to how we can further the ability to supply you that power, which really is a question of transmission And it's a big challenge within the United States to get those transmission corridors established. We have those challenges as well. But as we work our way through those issues, I think we can provide energy to each other that allows us to grow our respective economies in a mutually beneficial way. And last but not least, we did spend some time at the ceasefire project this morning. And I can tell you that Chicago and Illinois has always had a great history of being very innovative on the social side as well in tackling their problems. And we have a great history of social innovation as well. And the kind of entrepreneurial skills you see in the private sector are exactly the kinds of entrepreneurial skills we need in the social sector as well to make change. So there's great learnings that can occur there. And some of the people that were with me this morning, I could see the light bulbs going on in their heads about the possibilities of, people playing a role in interrupting the cycle of violence in the same way we interrupt the spread of an infectious disease like tuberculosis or HIV. So those kinds of models that are being developed here are things we can learn from and build upon. And some of the experiences we have, we think will be beneficial to you as well.
And so we really look forward to many exchanges on education, on trade, on working together for the environment and reducing emissions, improving renewable energy wherever we can. I really look forward to this partnership, and we can make the will of the people the law of the land. Thank you very much.